All right, guys. So I'm recording this because I think this video is very important, or not this video. I think this lesson's very important, so I am making video. Um, this lesson starts to tie together several of our key concepts and introduces a few more. So if you have your notes, if you got from me, they're printed off two-sided. If you printed them off here, I don't know if they're two-sided. Get those ready and let's get going. So the targets for today: define the different levels of biological organization, describe each level from cell to organism, identify how each level connects to the next, so how are they related, and illustrate hierarchical structure through a labeled diagram. And we have several labeled diagrams to work on together, so don't worry too much about that. Let's go. Make sure you're on this page right now, and notice it says cut out. If you have my note sheet, please don't cut it because there's notes on the back. This level of organization will go up here. Examples here, description here. If you go across, these are the levels of organization. These are the examples. And here are your descriptions. So we'll take one of each of these and move up here for each one. So for example, let's go ahead and start. Number one, what do we know number one is? Think back to what we looked at last week, and it's pretty simple. Yeah, number one is a cell. So we would put cell right here. So the humble cell, can you identify these cells? So this cell here, I'm going to go pretty quickly. You are welcome to pause it and try to guess, but I'm going to move pretty quick for this. Since it is a video, feel free to pause wherever you want. So this cell here is, yes, a skin cell. Here, we've seen a bunch of them. Muscle cell. I hope you have this one. We did an entire reading about it last week. Perfect. Blood cell. This funny looking paint that's spread out, what is it? Yes, a nerve cell. So what is a cell? So for your example on your paper, you could probably use muscle cell. I believe that's the choice. So what do we need to know about cells? A cell is the smallest unit of life. So when we talk about cells, it is the smallest unit of life. You can even have some life, things that are considered life, that are one cell, just a single cell. Excuse me. So the basic unit of life, smallest unit of life, and yeah, can be as simple as a protist, a single cell, or it can be as complex as some of these cells that make up other things. So look at your paper. The second, number two. What is number two? Yeah, perfect. Number two is a tissue. Cells form tissues. Okay, so can you identify this tissue here? Yeah, that's skin. Skin cells all together form tissue. This tissue here. Yes, muscle. Perfect. You've seen these, and you probably don't think of this as a tissue, but it meets the definition of a tissue. Blood. That's weird to think about blood as a liquid and a tissue, right? But because it is multiple cells working together to do one thing, it is technically a tissue. Over here, I know this looks really weird. Nerve tissue, right? Looks completely different from all of the rest. So, what do we need to know about tissues? What's our description? Yeah, a group of similar cells in the same place with the same function. So muscle tissue is a good example. This is muscle tissue. You can see all these little, what are those? We'll talk about those. And xylem in a plant, those are tissues. A group of similar cells in the same place with the same function. So looking at number three. Yeah, number three is a heart, and the heart is an organ, right? Oops, didn't mean to make that pop up. But yeah, so this is a cross section of skin. Skin is an organ. This we just talked about. Heart. Heart is a muscle. It's an organ. What is this? Looks kind of weird. Yeah. Blood vessels. So this is part of the circulatory system. Blood vessels, veins, they are organs. Over here, your brain, nerves. All the nerves come together. All those nervous tissues come together to form that organ of the brain. So what do we need to know about organs? Yeah, a group of tissues in the same place with the same function. So that sounds a lot like our definition for tissues, which was just a group of cells in the same place with the same function. So maybe you're starting to see this pattern here, right? So let's go. Number 4, organ systems. Can you identify these organ systems? And we start to give them some funny names right here. So this, it's the skin, right? Do we call it the skin system? No, of course not. That'd be too easy. Integumentary system. Integumentary. So it's skin, it's your oil glands, it's the hair follicles, all of that. So this system, all of the muscles together. Yeah, we just call that one muscular system, right? Kind of tricked you there. This system, heart, veins, arteries, capillaries. We don't call it the vein system or the blood system. We call it the circulatory system. It circulates all the nutrients around the body. And finally, the system with the brain, the spinal cord, all the periphery nerves. Yep, another easy one. The nervous system. So that one's not as tricky. What do we need to know about organ systems? Yeah, you've been paying attention, haven't you? Two or more organs working together to carry out a function. Two or more organs working together to carry out a function. And again, organs, two or more tissues. Tissues, two or more cells. So you're seeing this pattern, two or more things. We are increasing complexity as we go. So they maintain body function, skeletal system, respiratory, digestive, all of these things. So number 5, excuse me, the little man on your paper, he is an organism. Organisms. Can you name this organism? It is a human, and yes, it is Brad Pitt. Can you name this organism? I hope so. Gorilla. Oh, this cute little organism here. He's a puppy. Yeah, this little organism, obviously a worm. So isn't that a little crazy that everything from like Brad Pitt, a human, all the way down to worm, all fall in that category of organism? And we could even add plants in here, and we could have trees. We could have algae. Well, yeah, we can have algae. We could have trees. We could have flowers. We could have all kinds of things that would be organisms. It's kind of crazy. And here in a few weeks, we'll really talk about how to break these things apart um, into groups like mammalia, all kinds of fun things. But right now, we're just lumping Brad Pitt and this worm together in the same system. So, what do we need to know about organisms? What is the thing? Most of you have been paying attention. You know what you're about to see. But right now, we're just looking. It is a living being, and it's made up of 2 or more organ systems. Why couldn't it just be one organ system? Yeah, absolutely. If it were just one organ system, it would just be that organ system, right? So, it has the ability to grow, reproduce, maintain homeostasis. Whew, I apologize, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long day. But yeah, right now, for now, organism is a living being made up of 2 or more organ systems. So, in summary, and this has plants in it as well, cells make tissues, tissues make organs, organs make organ systems make organisms. Make sure you know this. Cells form tissues, tissues form organs, organs, organ systems, organisms. Okay? So let's flip your paper over. Let's do some practice together. It seems deceptively simple, right? Like what we just went through, and I don't know however long that took. In class, it was taking about 15 to 20 minutes. Whatever we just went through, you can answer every single question over here. One thing you need to note right here, examples of animal cells. It did not print. It's grayscaled. You can kind of see it. Example of animal cells. Right here, example of plant cells. So if you want to go ahead and write animal cells here and plant cells here, that will help us get on our way. If you need to pause it, do that. And we're going to start up here. So make sure your name's on your paper. And we're going to start with what is a cell. So, what is a cell? If you need to look back at the other side of your paper, that's absolutely fine. What is a cell? A cell is the smallest unit of life, period. That's what it is. So in the other gray box, many plants and animals are called multicellular. What does multicellular mean? So let's just break the word apart. Multi, more than one, right? Cellular refers to cells. So it's simple. They are made of multiple cells. There is some life that is unicellular, one cell. Amoeba, like the Amoeba Sister videos that I assigned for you to watch. Single cell. Pretty neat. But multicellular life, they're made of multiple cells. Most of the life you're familiar with, made of multiple cells. Okay? So multicellular life, where you just wrote plant cells a minute ago, palisade cells, xylem, and root hair cells, these are found exclusively in plants. Not every plant is going to have them all, but they are found exclusively in plants. Over here for animal cells, blood cells, sperm cells, nerve cells, they're found exclusively in animals. Just because blood, sperm, and nerve are found exclusively in animals doesn't mean that every animal is going to have them. The most obvious example, sperm cells. Not all humans possess sperm cells. Okay? So they are exclusive to animals, meaning that they are not in plants. But it doesn't mean necessarily that they are in every animal. Okay? The same here. Not every plant has to possess these. It just means they're definitely not in animals, right? You're not going to find an animal with a root hair cell. Just not going to happen. Okay? Yeah, you can pause this if you need to. I'm going to go on for the sake of time. Organ systems and organisms. Excuse me. The respiratory system, what are some of the organs? Respiratory. Think about what that system does. And the word respiratory means to respirate, right? Respirate to breathe. So what are some of the organs present? Absolutely. Your lungs, your larynx, your trachea, all present. And I want you to notice this one tube, right? Pay attention right here. Okay, so what is the function? We'll come back to this though. What is the function? To breathe, yeah. To aid in gas exchange. To change the gases in your blood, because all these systems are interconnected, in your blood to the air. So oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. That's the goal. So skeletal system. Can we name some of the organs in the skeletal system? And in this case, organs are bones. So yeah, we can get down here, tibia, fibia. We could say your femur. Trying to remember, I'm blanking on the name at the hips. Oh my gosh. Whatever. Humerus, radius, um, ribs. You have a scapula on the back. So your skull, obviously. Well, that's annoying me. I don't know why I cannot think of the name of the hip girl, like the whatever. Um, So your skeletal system, some good examples: skull, ribs, femur. All of those. Femur is the hardest bone in the body, in case you're curious. What is the function? They support the body movement. Think about the chicken with the broken wing. It did not move correctly. Also, to protect. Your skull protects your brain. Your ribs protect your vital organs. Pelvis. This is a pelvis. Oh my goodness, it took forever. Also, they produce red blood cells. In your pelvis, if you ever donate red blood cells, or sorry, bone marrow, they will come in from behind and get it from your pelvis. Not as painful as they say it is, though. Yeah, so again, blood cells are produced in the bones. All of these systems are interconnected, right? So, digestive system. Where does food go in? Your mouth? Food goes in your mouth. The first step to digestion is that mechanical breakdown in the mouth. So, where does it go after that? And then after that? And then after that? So, what are some of the systems? Your mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestine. All of these systems, very important. Oh, sorry, all these organs, very important to make up the system. What is the function? Yeah, you know this. Breaks down food for easier absorption, absorbs the food. Notice the esophagus. If you've watched the video already, you know it goes down the quote wrong tube. It's only one pipe, only one tube. So there's a little flap that pushes things toward the esophagus, and the esophagus is a muscle that actively squeezes it down or pushes it to the lungs. So when you're breathing, the air goes to the lungs, not the stomach. And when you swallow, the air goes down the food goes down the esophagus to the stomach. Only one pipe, only one tube. Up here, there's a little flap that kind of switches into the lungs or into the stomach. So, excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. So the question right under that on your paper, what is an organism? And we're going to expand this definition a little bit. A living being, e.g. a human. Humans have multiple organ systems working together to support life. So on the other side, we said it's a living being. Here, we really want to stress that it is more than one organ system working together to form this complex life. Oh, I didn't notice. This guy only has one kidney. Huh. That's odd. Anyway, he has two kidneys over here. Whatever. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. Allergy season is year round for me. A living being, multiple organ systems work together to support life. If you need to pause it, you can. I'm going on. 1, 2, 3. So you have this. This is easy for you at this point. So the least complex, the most complex. What is the base? Over here, your keywords. What is it? Perfect. Cells. Cells form. Yep. Tissues. Tissues form. Organs. Awesome. Organs make. Yes. Organ systems, which form organisms. Hey, watch. I learned this on Canva this weekend. Great job. So proud of myself. What is a tissue made up of? Yes, a group of similar cells, and here's the qualifiers, in the same place with the same function. 2 examples: nervous tissue, absolutely. Muscle tissue, perfect. Pause it if you need to. I'm going to go on. What is an organ made up of? Yeah, we just said it. A group of tissues in the same place with the same function. Notice the qualifiers: in the same place with the same function. So even if I have the same tissue in 2 different places doing a similar job, that doesn't make it an organ. They need to be in the same place with the same function. Okay? So what is this organ? The big one? Yeah, it's the liver. Can you tell me what this little organ is? A lot of people have to have it, not a lot. Some people have to have it removed. Yes, the gallbladder. The gallbladder has a cool job. It holds all the bile from the liver, and when you eat a lot of fat, it pumps it into the intestine and helps break that fat down. So people without a gallbladder have trouble digesting very fatty foods. What is this organ? Yeah, that's the stomach. And these, they're not the lungs. Yeah, they're the kidneys. Beautiful. So, guys, I'm very proud of you. Study these notes. Do the videos due on Thursday. You should have no trouble on the quiz. Hey, it's always a great day to soar above. If you have any questions, please reach out. I am here. If you're not one of my students and for whatever reason you're watching this on YouTube, I don't know if you can send me a message in there. I know you can't comment, but maybe I'll find a way. I'll put an email or something. You can email me if you need. I'm more than happy to help. And if there's anything I can do to help you with your science education, I am a science communicator, so I will do the best I can. Thank you guys. Have a great day.